muchachos. Sí, señor. We're out sailing the seven seas, mi mateys. En español. En Mexico. Guys, we are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. May the Lord bless you all in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, may you and your family be blessed in the name of the Lord Jesus. Man, what a day! Bitcoin finally getting a move down to the zone that we were looking at yesterday, the CDW level 106.3. One of the areas that we've been looking for a potential bounce. Is this bounce city, or are we going to come down to the next zone of support? We're going to be discussing it today. But the most important thing right now is that you like the stream. Subscribe to the channel, because if we can get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000. You heard it right. 1,000 USDT, baby. Man, I gotta shave this dang mustache. I'll tell you, it's hard to pay attention to the cryptocurrency charts when that thick mustache from the high testosterone keeps tickling my face. Let me get something a little bit more serious on here, guys. We also got to give a major shout out and reminder to everybody here to make sure, if you want to trade, check out WEEX, link in the description. Lowest fees on a centralized exchange, also ANTARCTIC exchange. Lowest fees, period, on a decentralized exchange. Link in the description. Also, we got to give a shout out to BLOFIN. BLOFIN, guys, is now offering coin margin trading. That means you can trade inverse perpetual on BLOFIN. You can trade to make Bitcoin and not just USDT. Also, if you sign up using my link to BLOFIN, you get 20% cash back, a chance to win all these prizes, discounted fees. It's a pretty great deal if you know how to trade. And if you don't know how to trade, check out the free course on YouTube. Check it out for free. And if you want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where we give the juicy trade setups in advance, myself and other instructors, you can go to jasonstratham.com. Click the link to join the best trading community in the world. Wow, amazing. Gotta give a major shout out to everybody in the chat right now, as Bitcoin is attempting to take the liquidity from this low and get a move back to the top of the range. Who we got in the house today? Major shout out to Blaze. Blaze says BLOFIN is good for trading futures. For sure. Shout out to Investment Time. Shout out to Crypto Coons in the house. God bless you, bro. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. Shout out to Epong. He says, "Are you ready, kids?" Aye, aye, Captain. Shout out to SpongeBob SquarePants in the house. Shout out to Rendell. He says, "Good morning, Jay. God bless y'all." Shout out to JMatt000. Shout out to Flippa Frank. He says, "Good morning, good morning." Shout out to Gen X Crypto, who says, "Ahoy, me mateys. Yar, we're going to be looking at the charts today, me mateys. Ha-ha. Yes, yes, it's another day where Jason the Pirate with his one eye and his other one crazy are going to be breaking down the charts today. Ha-ha." All right, major shout out to Siggy. Shout out to Dan Nixon. Shout out to Abhine Varma. What is going on? God bless y'all. Robert Houston, happy Canada Day. Is it Canada Day? Man, I might have to make the trip to Tim Hortons to get me a small coffee and a maple donut. Shout out to Hans. He says, "Let's go." Shout out to Lola King and Scottish Crypto. We're about to send, boys. Buckle up. Respect El Capitan. All right. Guys, let's smash the likes. We got over 500 people in the house. But shout out to Splash Bar Films. We only have one like. My goodness. Shout out to Lambachi. He says, GM, good morning to you. Shout out to I Love Tax. What a good YouTube name. I Love Tax. Love it. I love it. Shout out to Mickey and Ricardo. He says, "Thanks for being amazing from South Africa." Well, God bless you, Ricardo from South Africa. Shout out to Tata Luab, who says, "Let's go, 110K. That would be really cool if we could get a move to 110K. Major shout out to HFG. Shout out to One Ain, who says, "Good evening." Nick Flip, what's going on, bro? God bless you, man. Good to see you guys all in the house. Shout out to Hasnain from Pakistan. What is going on from Pakistan? Good to have y'all here. Let's conquer, says Aegon the Conqueror. Shout out to Note JN, who's shouting out J Casper, and Quiles 1100, who says Pito, Lightbot. What's going on, Lightbot? All right, man, is it hot in here, guys, or is it just this dang pirate hat and this dang hair metal wig from the 1930s? Whew, there we go. Oh man, I'll tell you, that feels a little bit better. Whew. Man, that is comfortable. Let's get on our good old blue and purple hat. We're going to be breaking down the charts today. Pop on over to TradingView. We're going to talk about what's going on with the Bitcoin. But I do have to give a quick reminder to everybody, all right, to make sure to like the dang video. Make sure to subscribe to the dang channel. Because right now, we need likes and subscribers more than ever. More than ever. I'm telling you, man. All right, let's see. Look at this. What happened to Jay? There he is. It's popping back on. Pop Jason Casper back on the chart. It's pretty cool, right? How I designed this AI on my computer, and I can make him talk and walk and do all this stuff. People really don't know what I look like in real life. The technology is amazing, guys. All right. All right, so let's see. Look at this. Look at this right now. Yesterday, we were talking about the fact that the Bitcoin price is currently looking a little bit bullish on the high time frames. What do I mean by bullish on the high time frames? Well, here's what I mean, all right? We go to the monthly chart, and what do we see? We see, okay, nothing too crazy bearish, but we do see a blue candle for the month, okay, a higher monthly close than last month. The weekly chart, this is where things are looking kind of nice. We are seeing the money flow curve to the upside. We're seeing a green dot printing. We come to the 4-day chart. We've just confirmed a green dot in the last candle. The 5-day chart, we're printing that dot. The 2-day chart, we've got room to the upside on the momentum waves. We've got the money flow getting higher. The higher time frames, to me, make it seem like a pump could absolutely happen. Then as we come to the lower time frames, we are seeing this range that we've got over here, this whole range that we can take all the way back to the 8th of May, 2025. This is our current macro sideways range here. And what we see is as we come to the bottom of the range right here, we are seeing some pretty bullish signs on market Cipher B, right? We're seeing the momentum waves getting higher, the money flow getting higher. And for this reason, that is why we have entered long, at least in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com. We have entered long from that level, still currently holding the trade from the setup given in advance. All right, because things look really bullish down at these lows. Now what's happening is we have gotten a pump, and it's been a strange pump, all right? We ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give it to you straight. It's been a strange pump. This whole pump has not been very healthy. We haven't seen a lot of buying come in here. We haven't seen an increase of open interest here. We have not seen high volume here. I'll be honest, okay? But when you get a big pump like this with a bullish divergence at the low, usually what that means is when you come down and get any kind of retracement, that next trigger wave here on our 4-hour is going to give us that big push. Now, keep in mind, we're looking at the high time frame, saying the high time frames definitely do have some room to the upside. And so therefore, we're going to take the low time frame bullish signals more seriously. And so this 4-hour is starting to get oversold here. And we are coming down to a pretty key zone of support. This zone of support is none other than a simple liquidity grab of the lows. Remember yesterday, we were talking about the fact that we have stop losses underneath all these levels here. We have lots of stop losses here. And when the market maker is looking to push the price in a certain direction, they are first going to wreck as many traders as possible. Why? Well, because if I was a big player and I need to buy a lot of Bitcoin, I can't do so unless there are a lot of people selling Bitcoin. And when you stop out a long order, guess what? It's a dang sell order. right? We were talking yesterday how you take a trade, you go on the trampoline with your kids, you're playing, you think you caught the exact bottom, then you get a notification on your phone saying, sell order filled. Sell order? You think, I didn't sell? What is this? Take a look at your exchange, and guess what? You're out of your position. You just sold your dang Bitcoin trade to a market maker, and now they're gonna push the price back up after they stopped you out again? The most frustrating thing, I'm telling you, these dang Bitcoin charts will literally ruin your life. They'll turn you into this, a sockhead chilling in the bathroom with glassy eyes and a long, old, scraggly looking 12-year-old kid beard. Alright? 1 second you're feeling like this, next second you're feeling like that. Alright, 1 second you're feeling like this, next second you're feeling like that. Alright, 1 second you're feeling like this, the next second you're feeling like that. And it can happen in a second, and it's because the market makers are always going to be going for that liquidity. And so what we've just seen here is the price has come down. It stopped out pretty much everybody who's been in all this way up, and now we're starting to get a reversal. Is this the actual reversal? Well, let's discuss. It could be. It could be. Why could it be? Because simply put, we have come down into that zone. We've taken the low, and now we're closing the candle back above the level. It's a confirmed, on a 4-hour time frame, a confirmed swing failure pattern. Okay? And so it's a valid trade setup, and not only that, if you had taken this trade setup, it's a good risk to reward ratio as well, because if we're putting our stop loss under that low, and we were on a low time frame when we got this, and we're shooting back for the top of the range here, right? This is potentially a really good risk to reward. I mean, just back up to value area high, just back up to the local, let's go ahead and pull our fib here. Back up to the local Fibonacci golden pocket is a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. So objectively speaking, if you took this trade, I'd say that's a good trade to take. It has everything we need for a good trade entry. A reason to enter, an invalidation, and a target. That's a pretty dang good trade right there, I'll tell you. And of course, you know, this is one of the levels that we were ready and prepared for yesterday in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. I personally did not take this trade simply because I was not at the chart. I did get my alert, but I could not take the trade. And what the heck? What the heck? What's the hook? What the hook is going on with this stupid chart? There we go. Okay, sorry, I have to go full German on you. Okay, so when we look at the market Cipher B right now, there's a few bullish things we could say are bullish. First of all, the 4-hour time frame is about to print a green dot soon, maybe within the next 2 hours, 3 hours. Next, the 1-hour time frame, printing big bottom. It's printing a big bottom right here, okay? Then we go down to our 24-minute time frame. And we do have some slight bullish divergences. It's not the best, but the 12-minute time frame actually looks beautiful. We've got the momentum coming up higher, like this, and we've got also the money flow getting higher over time. Down here on market Cipher B, all right? That's actually, it looks pretty good, like that we have bullish divergences at this level. Now, in my opinion, whenever we get like a move like this before the market open, remember, it's happening in between the time that London is closed and New York is not open yet. It's not even pre-market. A lot of times the moves that happen are not the real move. Something else that gives me a little bit of caution here is that we have the Fibonacci golden pocket still just under us, and we front ran her. Now sometimes we do front run the 618. Why do we front run the 618? Well, because the 618, if you don't know, is a beautiful woman, 6 Juanita. And sometimes we think to ourselves, you know what? What's stopping me from just asking that beautiful woman out on a date? You know? What do I have to lose? So you decide to ask her out. And it takes you some time. You're like, should I do it? Maybe not. Should I do it? Maybe not. Should I do it? No, I'm too shy. And sometimes we front run that beautiful 618. But also, a lot of times we don't. A lot of times then we'll come back down to either touch it or break down below. It's kind of strange that we didn't bounce right from the 618. Okay? So there's reasons to be, let's just put it this way. there's definitely valid reasons to have longed this, but there's also reasons to say maybe I want to wait for a little bit lower. All right, maybe I'd want to wait for a little bit lower. All right, but anyway, the fact that we've taken 106.364.1 on Bybit and have closed the 4-hour candle above is definitely pretty strong. All right, it's definitely a pretty strong indication that, yeah, we could see a move back to the top of this range. And in reality, right now, unfortunately, this is the sideways range that we are trading, guys. So until we lose to the downside or to the upside, this box, we have to remain a little bit neutral. All right, what has to happen for us to go to Pump City right now? For us to go to Pump City right now, we need to do two things. One, we have a trend line right here connecting these highs. High number 1 from the 21st of May, high number 2 from the 9th of June. And this is also in perfect confluence right now with our Fibonacci 786. All right, you can see that, right? The Fibonacci 786, this is the doorway to all-time highs. This right here is the doorway to all-time highs right here. And so if we see a move above this level, and we are now holding this as support, this actually does give us, if we get a breakout and retest, in my opinion, this would give us a valid reason to take a long trade if we see the back test and the bounce and shoot for 115 to 117,000. All right, that would be the next major sign of strength, the breakout of this range and the back test. And why, again, are we feeling bullish here? It's not because we're seeing a breakout, all right? It's because the higher time frames are telling us that it looks like she wants another big push to the upside. Happy July, by the way. And so if we see a entry on a lower time frame, then we can go ahead and take that if we're using good risk management, and we have a valid entry, a valid invalidation, and a valid target, okay? If we're not going to hold this zone, right? Let's say we come down lower here, and we're not going to just bounce from this golden pocket. Then what do we need to be aware of? Well, in my opinion, I would say this. If we are not going to hold this golden pocket zone right here, we do need to be prepared for a pretty significant move to the downside. The reason I say that is because, look at this. Remember, this move has happened on very low volume. And not only that, but we have lots of stop losses here that can get triggered. And when stop losses get triggered, it pushes the price down further because they're sell orders, right? So boom, 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 boom. And then once we come into this zone right here, if we look at the TPO, what do we have? What do we got? What do we got? Come on, TPO chart. Come on. Aha, single prints. You guys see this? We have a whole bunch of single prints, which basically means it's very probable that if we come into this box, we're going to whoop right down to the bottom of it, okay? So please be very careful, should I say, trying to take a long trade if we're not going to be holding this golden pocket zone, all right? Because we could see a swift move down. Now, would I still be looking for long trades in the event of a swift move down? I would. Why? Because this looks nice to me as a bottom. And from that point, we've seen nice higher highs and higher lows. And so if we're going to get a retracement coming down maybe to like our golden pocket area, right around that place, right around this area here, then for me, that's a nice higher low. And not only a nice higher low, but if we're going to be looking at the entirety of this range, that's just historic support, right? It's a beautiful, in my opinion, area because this has been our support the entire time since the very beginning of May, right? We had it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times as support. Then we had the fake out, and now we would look for that support again. And that could be the place where we break out from, all right? So the high time frames, in my opinion, look bullish. Either we're looking for a break, back test, pump, or we're looking for a retracement down to the low, for a pump, or, you know, you could be looking for an entry around this area right now, looking for a long entry. And look, all my exact plans for how and exactly what I look for to pull the trigger and all that stuff, I'm posting in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where yesterday we went through in detail exactly what you would look for in order to get into a trade. Check it out on jasoncaspertrading.com, where we give the dang trade setups in advance. Also, make sure, guys, to check out BLOFIN. Not only are they giving 20% cash back, everything you deposit in your futures account, but they're now doing coin margin trading. So you can trade the Bitcoin chart to earn Bitcoin instead of just Tether right now. All right, link in the description. Also, check out ANTARCTIC Exchange and WEEX. Links in the description. I also still do trade on MEXC, which also has very low fees. These are the exchanges I trade on. And while I'm here promoting these different things that you can click on, I also got to give a major shout out to Market Cipher and CryptoFace. Best indicator on TradingView, period. Period, okay? Period. Musk needs to make a solid appeal / plea to Trump. I have not been paying attention to the Trump stuff. TPO is a type of roofing material. That's interesting. I think I know that. They're trapping these bulls, man. Yeah, so in general, I would like to wait until at least 8:30, which is another 15 minutes, to see what the market wants to do here, because typically the move that happens like around 7 a.m. my time, which is like 2.5 hours before New York, is not the move of the day, right? Sometimes it is. It's rare. It's rare. All right. But let's check this out. Do we have any news today? It's Tuesday, the 1st of July. July 1st. Do we have anything? We need a filter here. As an American, I do not care about all these other countries. All right. They basically don't exist to me. All right. Europe. That's the one country I care about the least. All right. Sorry to all my Europe citizens. What a strange country Europe is. Has anyone ever been to the country of Europe? You guys ever been to the country of Europe? I've never been to the country of Europe. No, I've been to Italy, been to France, been to Germany. Never been to Europe, though. Shout out to Fed Chair Powell. He's going to speak in approximately an hour and 15 minutes. All right, let's see. That's so funny. You know what's so funny? After I said that about Europe, I got a bunch of thumbs ups and a bunch of thumbs downs. That's funny. No offense to my Europeans. If you don't like the joke, I'm sorry. And to everyone who doesn't understand sarcasm, I'm also sorry for you. Your life must really suck, in a sense that you just can't find humor in the... Never mind. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I remember this one time. I was driving with my wife in the fall time. We passed this store that was selling wood-burning stoves. And the sign out front said, "Pumpkin spice wood-burning stoves now in." And I looked at my wife and I said, I wonder how many phone calls they get from confused people wondering what's a pumpkin spice wood-burning stove. Probably a lot. I want to stop in and ask them. You know? You're European every time you go to the bathroom. Honestly, yeah. I'm European and I'm Russian also. Whenever I'm in a hurry. You know? Whenever I'm in a hurry. Come to Poland? I would come to Poland, to be honest with you. I would come to Poland. My wife is kind of Polish, a little bit. She's a little bit Polish, somewhere in there. You know, maybe we'll go back to our roots. Our roots. Back in Poland. Alright. Let's see. Cody says, if Bitcoin begins to drop from here, what is the last key support level I must hold to keep the possibility of a new all-time high? Well, I mean, this depends on the scope. If we're talking about the scope of this range here, then the green box I have at the bottom must hold, okay? Because this is our range that we're trading locally. But if we zoom out, then we are trading this range here. Okay? We are trading this range here. Which then means we want to see the bounce from around 97K. Right? So we're, you know, you got ranges within ranges. If we're looking at this as a bull flag, we do not want to lose 1025. Because then this bull flag is not valid anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I would want to hold 1025 for Bitcoin to pump. Let's take a look again at market Cipher here. The 4-hour green dot I think is going to be pretty key right now. Check out the 3-hour, the 2-hour. Yeah, 2-hour money flow is not looking the best. Neither is the 1-hour money flow. So really, we're banking on these low time frame divs, and they do look pretty nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the 12-minute is looking nice for us to get a bounce around this area within a few hours. You know, I right now I'd be looking at this 24-minute. This 24-minute is what I'm keeping my eyes on here. Because technically we do have a beautiful long signal here that's confirmed. But I just feel like it could look a little bit nicer. Right? This is like a perfectly flat. It could look a little bit nicer, right? We could see more of this. We could see more of this. If this CDW here, this pre-market bounce, allows the 24-minute to cool off to the upside and the money flow to come up a little bit, then that next drop could be the one. Could be the one. If y'all know what I mean. What's going on with Elon and Trump? I gotta look into this, guys. I just don't pay attention. Shout out to Hopium Copium. I don't pay attention to this stuff at all. Shout out to Rakesh. He says visit India once. I would love to visit India. Check out the 3-minute and the 6-minute chart. Or month. Are you talking about month? The 3-month chart. We need to get to a different, here we go. This is Coinbase doesn't even have that. Let's, here we go. Okay, so this is the 3-month chart. It has a massive bearish divergence from the inception of Bitcoin. That's perfectly normal. Let's go to the 6-month. We've got a red dot, the first one in history ever printing here. Yeah, so, makes sense since we are in the final months. The final 6 months of the bull market. Like, no matter what, I believe we're in the final 6 months of the bull market. So, if we're looking at the 6-month chart, and we know that this is the last 6 months that we have, starting today, just makes sense. Okay, the 6-month is printing a top when we would expect a top. And the 3-month, yeah, I mean, it's really difficult to, I'd say, use these charts for trading decisions. But, you know, I would say this, as far as like spot goes, for sure, like if you had sold the confirmation of the 3-month green dot back here, you didn't sell the top. In fact, you would have sold, and then we would have pumped up 60%, 60%, right? And if you had bought the green dot here, you would not have bought the bottom, but you would be up 150% from where you bought. So it seems to be kind of a lagging indicator in my opinion. But I do expect the top to be in this year. So if we're having this conversation in January, then I would say this is bearish, right? But we're probably going to be already, yeah, who knows, January, February, March, April, May, we're going to be dumping, I think. I really think that. Could be wrong, you know, could be wrong. Ooh, the daily. I did not notice this, but we do have a red dot on the daily here. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man, I did not see this. This is not good. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Did you guys see this? I honestly did not see this until just now. Well, maybe we come back down to the bottom of the range here. That would not be the best. But, yeah, daily's got a red dot. So, let's see. That honestly, this daily red dot could take us down to 1025. Daily red dot down to 1025. This thing confirms, man. That's going to give us some downward pressure. And it just makes sense that we would fill all this nonsense that we did on the way up, bounce from the bottom of our range. Alright, so just so everyone, just to re-articulate what we're looking for, we're either looking for the bounce from here today, that's around 105.8, 106, or we're looking for the drop all the way back down to around 102.5 value area low for a bounce. Right? That is what we'd look for in the event of a drop for our next long, or if the bottom's in, just let's just say New York opens, we pump, then we look for the break of 109, the back test, and then we can shoot for 115 to 117 in my opinion. On the good old-fashioned Bitcoin. The Bitcoin. Alright, making money online, PC offline, crypto could mining. Yes, because of that daily, I opened a short. Interesting. Interesting, yeah, that's cool. What is a CDW? A CDW is a chicken's drinking water pattern, which is known also, some people call it a swing failure pattern, but the technical term is a chicken's drinking water pattern. Alright, I'll tell you why the technical term is a chicken's drinking water pattern. Because trading is, when you take it back to its roots, it's agricultural, right? I'll trade you these potatoes for these eggs. I'll trade you these chickens for this corn, right? And so, therefore, back in the day when people used to have to draw the charts by themselves, they called it a chicken's drinking water pattern. And the reason why it's called the chicken's drinking water pattern is because, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a chicken drink water before, but the way it works with a chicken's drinking water pattern is you have the liquidity, right? The liquidity being this green line that says CDW. And what happens is the price dips down into the level like this and then quickly laps it up. Just like the way a chicken drinks water. If we take a look at the way a chicken drinks water, we can clearly see that the chicken takes her beak and she dips it into the water. Now, you might think to yourself, this chicken's drowning, in the same way you might think to yourself, oh no, the price is breaking down. But then watch what she does. Alright, here we go again, watch. Boom! Here she is. Now watch. Oh, there we go. That's a good view. A good view of those chickens drinking. Look at how they do that. Man, I love to watch chickens drink water. I'll be honest with you. I love the way they drink. I love the way they take their head back. Oh, man. Only you chicken owners will understand this, alright? You know, I feel like I got a connection with the birds. You know, I was at the beach the other week. You know? The seagulls are flying by, trying to steal my Cheetos. Alright? Because, you know, I totally eat Cheetos. Anyway, the seagulls, I feel like I got that connection with them. I look in their eyes, I feel that love. Aww. Sweet seagulls. I want to come here and pet your feathers. Alright? It's like when you're a dog owner, you see another dog and they look at you with those eyes and you're like, aww. It reminds me of my dog, because all dogs kind of have that same, like, eye look, you know? It's the same with the seagulls at the beach, man. If you got your chickens out there, nothing brings me more joy in life when I'm feeling a little bit down after taking a few losses on the charts to go outside and just throw a whole bowl of food scraps to my chickens and watch them eat. They don't have a worry in the world, those chickens. They just go out there, they eat, man. They eat, and they eat, and they eat, and I think to myself, if I just ate all day, all the food I could possibly find, would I also be as happy as a chicken? So then I try it. Of course, that leads to morbid obesity, a whole bunch of other things. So we're not chickens, guys. All right, you can't just eat food off the ground all day with your beak. You don't even have a beak. Most of you don't, at least. Some might. You know, I can't hate. It's 2025. All right? How do you decide which chicken to unalive for dinner? Well, you just kill them all at the same time and put them in the freezer, and then you just grab one, right? Why is Powell talking today? Yeah, there's no FOMC, so today Jerome Powell is going to be discussing... what is he going to be discussing? He's going to be participating in a panel discussion titled Policy Panel at the ECB Forum on Central Banking in Sintra. The audience is going to ask questions. So I don't know, I guess it's just a Q&A kind of thing. But people are going to be listening to his words. If he's hawkish, or if he's dovish, or whatever, man, honestly, I feel like he was way more powerful for the Bitcoin price during the bear market than he is now, huh? Way more powerful during the bear market than he is now, huh? Alright, let's check out ETH. Okay, wow. Oh, wow, that's all I can say about this ETH chart. Okay, let's be honest, guys. Really not much has happened here on ETH. We had a liquidity grab of the highs. We've had a liquidity grab of the lows. A pretty intense one. A reclaim of the value area low. And so right now for ETH, I'd say this. There's a few places to be interested in. First of all, we do have this. So be aware of another just fake out of the lows. All right, that's the first thing to always be aware of whenever you're looking at a sideways range. That's always a potential trade setup. Next, I'd say Fibonacci Golden Pocket and the back test of our low that we made here on the 18th of May. Was that a Sunday? Yeah, Sunday, 18th of May. We have our Fibonacci Golden Pocket down here. So this would be another place to basically look for a bounce from between the Golden Pocket and the 786. Because it's a historic support. It's now a support resistance flip. And also, we're backtesting the volume of this area here. So for ETH, if we want to see us come back to the top of the range, we cannot lose. Let's just round it off and say 2,300. We cannot lose 2,300. All right. This is the local range. If we're looking at this as a bull flag type thing or a range that's going to break out to the upside, we don't want to lose the Fibonacci retracement from this low. Otherwise, we could see us come much lower. You can clearly see there's pretty much no support resistance here until we're back down to like 1,800. All right, so we want to hold 2,300. If not, we could see maybe a 20% drop from there because there's no support. There's really no support. Going all the way back to that low we made in April. Now remember, just historically speaking, summers are sideways and grindy and bearish, right? We have never seen, I don't think, a bullish summer for crypto. Have we ever seen a bullish summer for crypto? I don't think so. So right now, hoping for a bullish July is hoping against the pattern that has always existed here. Let's see here. The only bullish summer I guess we had was 2020. But even that was pretty much sideways, right? If we're going to look at from June to September, it was pretty much sideways. All right, that was this here. From June to September. was this zone right here. So it was slightly bullish, but in general it was sideways. The summer before that was this. Sideways. Alright, leading to a dump in the fall for the bear market, which we would expect next fall. Yeah, look at this. So even in the midst of this epic run-up, the summer from June to September was this. So you could say, okay, the end of August, we saw a pump. All right, the end of August, we saw a pump. But for most of the summer, especially July, it was bearish and sideways and grindy. All right, these summers are typically not super bullish. I remember the summer of 2021, right here. The summer of 2022 was this. This was our summer range right here. So you could say maybe it was bullish, right? But then our summer of 2023 was this. Our summer of 2024 was this. Right? It's just historically speaking, we don't get the big moves in the summer, all right? So when we're hoping for these big pumps happening in the summer, especially since we didn't make that new high in June, I'm not, see here, I know the high time frames look bullish, and they do, and I know I'm looking for longs, and I am, because I'm a reactionary trader. I'm trading what the chart is telling me in the minute. But when I do zoom out and just realize we're coming into July, I can't be upset if we just continue in this range for a month or two, and then August gives us that big move. And that's for Bitcoin and ETH and pretty much everything, right? Just crypto in general. Also, we do have the pattern, this bull market, of the summer range ending in August, right? The summer range ending in August. We come back down to the low of the range on August, right here, 2023, and that was our bottom. And then in 2024, we come down to the bottom of the summer range, right here in August, and that was our bottom. All right, so if this pattern is going to continue, then I know. He's not going to say it. Is he going to? Yeah, he's going to say it. Then we should expect to move back down to the bottom of the range. And then in August, and then start to pump, right? That would be the pattern that has continued here, right? Which is why it's so important to identify key levels and plan for trades, but also plan for the criteria, which is going to get you into the said trade, right? We can't just long levels blindly. We need to have confirmations of source. We need to have things on the chart that we're looking at to tell us, do I have a trade here? Yes or no? You know, do I have a trade here? Yes or no? So guys, it's 8:35. It's pre-market right now. And we're going to take a quick look at how we only have one like with 990 people in the chat. We have almost 1,000 people in the chat. We have one like. Oh my goodness. One like? Is it my armpits? Is it my armpits? Is it because I rub... Oh, I don't have my picture of my garlic. It's because I rub garlic on my armpits? Do I smell that bad? You know? Let's take a look at the order flow here, guys. Let's see what's happened. Let's see what's happening on the order flow. If we have any kind of signs. Alright, so what do we got here? We actually have some bearish CBD building. Some bearish CBD building here. We've got an increase of open interest and an increase of CBD as the price is unable to reclaim the VWAP. We've got some bearish CBD. We've had bearish CBD. We had some bearish CBD here. We've got even more. So that's not the best look. And in general, I know EXO has this big weird thing here, but in general, you can see that throughout the entirety of this range, we've had a decrease of open interest, and just now we started to see some longs opening up here. Yeah, we started to see some longs opening up in this area here. So let's see. We do have some longs open, which could get squeezed again and push us down a little bit lower. So Yeah, let's see what happens when New York opens, guys. That's going to be in about an hour. We're going to see New York. New York open. The New Yorkers. They're getting the coffees. They're getting the bagels. That's what they do in New York. They get the early morning carbohydrates in. You know, they don't do keto out there in New York City. All right, the city never sleeps. So you got to have your carbohydrates out there. Ooh, I almost switched to a little bit of a Boston accent there. You got to have your carbohydrates out there. The bagels, the simple sugars, you know, the high fructose corn syrups. We ain't got time out there to make bacon and eggs. All right, we ain't got time for that. All right, we stop at Dunkin' Donuts on the way to the trading office. Yep, we got Jerome Powell's speech at 9:30. PMI at 10:30. July is very bullish, the fourth year of the Bitcoin cycle. Well, we just looked at it, Rooftop. What historic year do we have where July was the last bit of that cycle? Because we just looked at the past few years and they all seem pretty sideways. Is anyone else scared for the alts right now? I'll be honest, I am not scared for the alts right now. I have to remain bullish on alts, okay? I have to believe that my altcoin positions are going to be in profit within the next few months. I have to believe that. I refuse to believe that this is just it for altcoins, especially these high cap, especially for ETH. Man, ETH, I'm telling you, I fully expect ETH to pump. And people are going to be like shocked by it. But I will not be shocked. Because the chart on ETH right now looks so dang bullish on the high time frames. We've never seen anything like it before. We've never seen anything like it before. There we go. Finally, some relief for the Ojos. Where would I increase my position if I was long from 83K? Oh, well, I am long from 83K. Well, 85K. Where would I increase? The only place I would increase my position size is in a place where I would enter a fresh long. Okay. That's the only place I would ever increase, in the place where I would enter a fresh long. Do I think gold will go down from here? Let's take a look at gold. Bitcoin's starting to get a little bit of a move up here. Let's see. See if we can hold this level. Wow, look at gold on the 12-minute. This is nuts. Wow, look at gold here. This is crazy. Daily trigger wave here on gold. Hidden bull div. Let's check out the weekly on gold. I mean, we're in some. The weekly is a little ambiguous. Let's check out this 4-day, this 3-day, 2-day. The 2-day actually looks pretty nice on gold. The daily looks nice on gold. I mean, if this thing confirms, that's looking juicy. Man, that $2,500 back test, I'm telling you, that was the level. That was the level. We called that level, man. That is a 37% pump on gold. Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like the money flow on the daily could act as support again, just like it did back here. We're forming a range, kind of just like we did over here. I know it's like basic, simple TA, but I don't know. I'm a perma bull on gold. I'm a perma bull on gold. It seems like every time we form one of these little pennants, we break out. I'm a gold perma bull. I mean, gold is real wealth preservation. I mean, you just can't go wrong with gold. And as the world gets more volatile, and as people like lose faith in the dollar, and we've got the whole BRICS thing going on, and we've got the weaponization of fiat currency. We like use it to sanction other nations, and then all this stuff. It's like, man, people want to put their wealth in a place which will be preserved. So this daily could be a move to the upside. Looks good, I have to say. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Hidden bull div on the daily. Last hidden bull div that we saw on the daily was this one here. Right? And that led to a big push up, so we got another hidden bull div on the daily. But you want to talk about, you know, it is crazy to look at gold. I was having this conversation with somebody recently. I was trying to talk to them about how the reason why gold is so expensive today is because in 1971, we came off the gold standard. After the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, that was way back here. Let's see. Yeah, right around here. 1913. It's pretty wild. So, and then look, after the Great Depression, so we have the creation of the Federal Reserve, right here. Then we have the Great Depression now, because everyone's in debt, because everyone's now using this fake money, right? So then, the value of gold immediately just pops up after the Great Depression, right? Because now we have fiat currency introduced. We're still technically on somewhat of a gold standard. And then, in 1971, when we fully go off the gold standard, in other words, when the value of the dollar is not based at all on gold anymore, but based on the faith and trust in Donald J. Trump, the value of gold rises 10,000%. AKA, the purchasing power of your dollar has dropped that much. And I was having a conversation with somebody. They were trying to tell me, well, it's not because of the dollar, it's because there's more of a need for gold now. Okay, all right. Man, some people, man, they just don't want to believe that the US dollar is legitimately a Ponzi scheme. The gold chart is proof that the dollar is a Ponzi. Like, by definition, it's a Ponzi. The people who got in first are the ones making all the actual money, and the people who get in last are getting all this fake money that's not worth anything. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. The people who get in first profit off the people who get in later, until eventually the whole thing falls apart. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme, and the dollar is 100% a Ponzi scheme. But that is crazy. So I'm a perma bull on gold, all right? I've been heavy into gold since I got married 11 years ago. And so I've been heavily invested in gold since 2014, and even then, in my adult life, that's 181%. You cannot be upset with 181%. It ain't Bitcoin, all right? But yeah, talk about gold, silver, Bitcoin. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin. See, here's the thing. Gold holds its value intrinsically. Gold has been money since forever, right? So it's different than other assets. It's different than a stock. It's different than a company that could become more or less relevant depending on the cultural context and the technological context, right? It's a metal that intrinsically is valuable because it's rare. It takes a lot of work to dig it out. All this kind of stuff. do I prefer more, gold or Bitcoin for investment? I prefer both. Shout out to Dutchie, your only fan. Enjoy your last Canada Day. Next year you'll be celebrating the 4th of July. The day which we commemorate that because we didn't want to pay taxes to the government, we decided to fight them with weapons. And now we celebrate by blowing things up in the sky and eating processed foods while we're paying taxes to the government. That's cool, man. What gold coins do I hoard in the attic? Man, I don't hoard them in the attic. I have a treasure map, all right? And that treasure map has a series of clues to where I have my gold coins buried out somewhere in the wilderness. All right? Florida just made gold and silver legal tender. That's good. That's good. Shout out to Florida, all right? I consider Florida my second home. I consider Florida my second home. They can make gold out of lead. Will that affect gold price? I don't know. Alchemy? I wouldn't be surprised if there's people out there doing alchemy successfully. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe like if they figure out some way to do that, yeah, that would probably affect the gold price for sure. That would probably affect it for sure. But would it be real gold? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Laboratory made gold? I don't know. I'm too stupid to think that far. But I'm just going to go based on the past 5-ish thousand years of recorded history. Going all the way back to the ancient Babylonians and Sumerians and Akkadians. And it's always been gold, all right? It's always been gold. Shout out to Memory Man. He says, looks like a dump is coming. What kind of chest do I store my treasure map in? I store it in my own chest. I have tattoo on my chest of my treasure map. But here's the thing. The tattoo is on the underside of the skin. And if anybody tries to cut me open to view the map, they'll destroy the map. So it's perfectly hidden. No one, not even myself, can view it. It's okay though, I have photographic memory. I can remember exactly where my treasure map is. Gold is manipulated trash, says David Brumblebow. Look, yeah, it's manipulated on paper. The value of gold and silver have been suppressed by the paper gold and silver. But in general, forget all that, because gold and silver hold value and purchasing power, regardless of if the price can be manipulated a little bit, okay? The price of gold can be manipulated a little bit here and there, but when we zoom out at the chart, okay, how have they been doing with the suppression of the gold price? How? Not so great, all right? Let's take a look at what happened to gold when they decided to just double the money supply randomly. Back when under Donald Trump, the whole country was put on welfare checks, right? 2020, April, what happened to the gold price? Oh wow, more than double. Guys, remember that? In America, when people were forced to shut down their businesses. In America, when the federal government decided it was their job to print money out of nothing and give it to everybody for not doing anything. That's called welfare. That's called universal basic income. That's called... Nobody has the right to tell you whether or not to open or close your business. And nobody should be getting fiat currency from the government in any circumstance, no matter what. But everyone wanted it. Oh, we had no choice. We had to listen to the government and we had to close down and it was just so hard, and so now we need the government to help us. And it's okay because Trump is good. So he's going to help us. He's going to do welfare the right way. He'll do it the right way. The liberals do it the wrong way. This is the conservative welfare. The libertarian welfare. Yeah, I do remember that. Well, I don't remember that. But yeah, in the 30s when they seized everyone's gold, and I'm pretty sure in the 70s as well. In the 70s, didn't they also, it wasn't mandated, but it was required, not required, but encouraged for people to turn in their gold to the government, right? Yeah, that's crazy. How about the CME gap not filled yet on Bitcoin? Yeah, we do actually have a CME gap on Bitcoin. I offended all my Trump worshippers in the house. Good old Trump, who was bailed out by the dang Rothschilds when he had to declare bankruptcy and the central banks bailed him out. He's totally cool, though. Okay, good old Donald Trump, under his administration, doubled the money supply. Literally did the worst thing for the currency ever in the history of America. It's okay, though, because he's Trump. He had no choice. He didn't know. He was tricked. Right? It wasn't his fault. It was Fauci's fault. I mean, Trump is the president of the United States, but a doctor has more power than the president. It wasn't Trump's fault. Right? Under Trump, where he was the one who fast-tracked genetic medical manipulation and experimentation on the population. He still brags about it to this day. Yes, it was me, the grandfather of the genetic experimentation, the medical experimentation, which is illegal on the people. Yes, it's me. I'm so proud and happy. No one's ever done it like me before. All right, good old Trump, you know, America first, right? Good old Trump now, getting us involved in wars and all this. America first, right? That's what America needs to put America first. Another war, which will cost trillions of dollars. Wow, yeah, that's what America needs first, because Trump is good, right? Man, I'm telling you. Oh, look, Randy says that money wasn't used until Biden took office. You're right. You're right. You're right. So you know, do you even understand what you're saying? It doesn't matter whether or not the money was used. The fact is that it was created. Right? Because here's the thing, there's no right and there's no left. There's not a two-party system in America. There's a one-party system. But for us plebs, they give us a choice. They give us only two choices so that we can be divided and hate each other. They give us two choices. And both choices suck, and both choices are leading to the same outcome. I mean, it's crazy to me when you objectively look at the fruit of the first Trump presidency and realize that there are so many socialist, leftist, globalist agendas that were pushed forth through the Trump administration the first time. But because they don't focus on those things in the media and they focus on other things that don't really matter, nobody really notices because people don't have time to pay attention, let's be honest. But there's one party, all right? And it's all leading to the same place. They want you to love Trump, and they want you to hate Trump. You know? They want people to love and hate Trump. That's true. Captain Happy says polarizing a nation in a political way is almost like treason. That's so true. I mean, the polarization that has been occurring and progressing in this country since, I would say, it's gotten really bad since Obama's second term. It's been outstanding to watch. And the level of propaganda now on both sides is just also outstanding to watch. It's pretty crazy. And watching the way people have changed, like, over the past, let's say, even just 15 years, when it comes to being galvanized for one side or another, is absolutely amazing to watch. I mean, I've seen family members not talk to each other because they have different political sides. And in my opinion, the ironic thing is, the whole thing is a farce. I mean, zoom out, right? We're zooming out on the gold chart. The gold chart's going up and down a little bit here and there, but zoom out. The politics, the federal politics in America is literally a joke and a show. It's like 100%, in my opinion, a show. It's like WWE wrestling. The drama, the name calling, the insulting, and the sparring that happens. People literally treat politics like they treat sports now. It's my team against your team. It's very interesting. You know? It's very interesting. You know, the Smith-Mundt Act, which was an act that made it illegal to use propaganda on Americans through the media, was repealed during Obama's second term. And you can literally watch how the media has changed since that time, to where instead of like being objective and respectful, everything is very propagandy-ish, full of rhetoric, and not even like news. Honestly, just full of drama and rhetoric. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, I gotta head out, man, because it's late. It's late. But anyway, God bless you guys. And may the Lord bless us all. Honestly. The true King. The true King. Jesus the Messiah. Anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow. So God bless and peace.